Hello viewers, I'm Simon Preston and welcome to Reggae Boyz commentary. Well, 2019 was quite a year for Jamaica, wasn't it? It felt as though there was more situations or drama or activities off the pitch than there were on it. But let's look at things that happened on the pitch and have a recap of that. And in the comments below you can have your thoughts about 2019 as a whole for the Reggae Boyz. Jamaica won 8 games, drew 3 and lost 3 this calendar year. 2 of those 3 losses were Jamaica's first 2 games of 2019. The first game, a 2-0 loss to El Salvador in the CONCACAF Nations League in El Salvador. With that result, Jamaica missed out on League A of the inaugural season of the CONCACAF Nations League. Jamaica was placed in League B because of that result. However, Jamaica did qualify for the Gold Cup because of previous victories over Suriname, the Cayman Islands and Bonaire. The second match of the year was a 1-0 defeat to Costa Rica. That was a friendly match and it blood opportunities to some other players in the squad. Jamoy Topi got his chance, so did Amal Knight. Although he made his debut for Jamaica in 2018, he got a taste of football on Central American soil, so that was a great kudo for him despite the 1-0 defeat. The next match was a historic match for Jamaica, a friendly match in June, where Jamaica defeated the United States for the first time ever in a friendly international. Shamar Nicholson with his first goal for Jamaica and also his goal as a nominee for the People's Choice Performance of the Year by the R.J. Galena Foundation. Fantastic strike. I remember watching it on that Wednesday evening at my desk and all I could do was shout "Goal!" and just clap. It was a fantastic strike from Shamar Nicholson. Absolutely fantastic from him, helping Jamaica to their 3rd ever victory over the United States at the senior level, the first coming in 2012 in a 2-1 victory at the National Stadium, and the other coming in the 2015 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, a 2-1 victory in the Gold Cup semi-finals under coach Winfred Schaefer. After that, the attention swiftly turned to the Gold Cup. Jamaica hosted a Gold Cup match for the first time on home soil against Honduras, and Jamaica won that game 3-2. Deva Orgil with a brace, and the other coming from Damian Lowe, a powerful header. After that we had a draw against El Salvador, and after that we had a 1-1 draw against Curaçao, Jamaica booking their spot into the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup. The biggest talking point, you could say, was the inclusion of Leon Bailey, finally seeing him in national colours. A lot of talk about where he was going to play internationally. Would it have been England, Germany, Belgium, Austria? That was all cast away. So he put on the national colours of the black, green and gold for Jamaica. Then the attention swiftly turned to the quarterfinals, where Jamaica defeated Panama 1-0. The second time in almost 50 years that Jamaica defeated Panama, and the first time that Jamaica defeated Panama in 10 years. 10 years. The first time in 10 years Jamaica was beating Panama. And the first time we're ever beating Panama in a competitive fixture at the senior level. 1-0, Darren Mattox with the penalty. Quite controversial. You had Kamar Taxi Lawrence that wanted to take it on his 50th cap. Michael Hector was in the mix as well, Junior Flemings, and so was Shamar Nicholson. And then came the Gold Cup semi-final against the United States, a 3-1 defeat. Remember when I did the Gold Cup draw in April, I said that I would be content for a semi-final run to the Gold Cup. And looking back at things, I am content with it. Ideally, I would have wanted to have a Mexico against the Jamaica final, but there was a lot of scenarios in that semi-final. I don't think we turned up as efficiently as we should have for that game. The game had a number of disturbances, but you can't really blame that as a result for the defeat. The thunderstorm and the rain, that can't be blamed because the United States faced it as well, so that can't be a reason for defeat. The United States were quicker on the ball, more mobile, and deserved winners on the day. So after our semi-final Gold Cup run, let me just say that this is now the 3rd Gold Cup tournament in a row where Jamaica has at least been to the semi-finals. 2015 lost to Mexico in the final, 2017 lost to the United States in the final, and 2019 lost in the semi-finals to the United States. Attention now went to the CONCACAF Nations League B. Bang, 6-0 win over Antigua and Barbuda. Bang, 4-0 win over Guyana, 2-0 victory over Aruba. Lukewarm performance, but the 3 points was all that mattered. Bam, 2-0 victory over Antigua and Barbuda. But before that, a 6-0 win over Aruba in Aruba. And to end League B and to end the CONCACAF Nations League for 2019, Jamaica won, Guyana won. So that ended Jamaica's 5-game winning streak, and also the first time Jamaica was conceding since the CONCACAF Gold Cup tournament. We averaged 2 goals a game in 2019. I give Jamaica a B for 2019. So a 7 out of 10. Bear in mind the quality of performances, the results and decision making. So I'd give Coach Whitmore and his team a B or a 7 out of 10 where 2019 was concerned. The reason why I do that is because I still feel that there are players that are not called up that have been performing well. And the criteria or the prerequisite to get into the national team is to perform well for your clubs. But you have players that may be having lukewarm seasons for their clubs, but they're still called up, if you understand what I'm saying. What more does Nico Brett have to do to get a national call-up? 17 goals, 33 games for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and he'll be on his way to the Birmingham Legion in Alabama next season, where he's going to be the focal point throughout the season. So, for me, he's one of the players going into 2020 that I would like to give a debut to. I'm not saying that he should be a core player going into the World Cup qualifiers. I'm just saying give him 60 minutes, see what he can do. A player in form is a player that you need. That's what I believe. I believe that we will see Daniel Johnson at some point. Rabel Morrison. Defense. As much as I love the commitment, the tenacity that Adrian Mariap has given for our country, we have to think a little bit down the road. Damien Lowe will be a central defender. Is Michael Hector a centre half, or is he a holding midfielder? That's still up for debate. What about a natural centre half? Jamie Lawrence at Bayern Munich, or Ricardo Henning at Cologne. These are players that I believe should be integrated to the pool. So, moving forward, here are the players that I think I would like to see in World Cup qualifiers. In terms of new faces, Rolanda Aarons, Daniel Johnson, Ravel Morrison, Nico Brett, part of the pool, not necessarily part of a 23-man squad. It's okay if he's in and out of the team, bear in mind the striker options that we'll have and the continuous augmentation of form of Shamar Nicholson. And Ricardo Henning. Jamie Lawrence is still under the age of 18, so I can understand him not being in the program for now, but Ricardo Henning, he's knocking on the door of the first team at Cologne. He's playing in the second team, but he's knocking on that door. I've spoken to his agent, and Germany's under-20 team has already called him up, and Joachim Low has already met with the youngster. He's already talked to Joachim Low about Germany in 2024 Euros, which they're hosting. You see what I'm talking about? They're planning for something 5 years down the road. 5 years down the road, this national team coach is saying, I want you to be at the heart of my defense. Ricardo Henning said, well, you know what, I was born in Jamaica. Yes, I spent the majority of my life in Germany, but I tell you what, my heart is with Jamaica. Germany is thinking 5 years down the road. Can we do the same with Jamoy Topi? This pool needs a lot of depth. A lot of depth. World Cup qualifying is going to be a crazy ride, I'm telling you. You're going to have players that are going to have yellow card suspensions. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have players that don't have their passports. You're going to have players that miss their flights. Trust me, I've seen it all. I've seen it all in World Cup qualifying. You're going to have players that are going to break curfew and are going to leave camp. You're going to see everything. You need... Omar Daly said 35 players you needed a pool. I say 40. I think you need 40. especially looking at the goalkeeping options, depth is needed in that area as well. We know Amal Knight is our guy. Dwayne Miller needs to be there as well, despite not being playing a lot of football over the past 3 years. One of our most experienced players, and I'm happy to have him part of our pool. Jaden White, up and coming, has to be in the mix at some point. Amal Knight, for me, completes the quartet. If you want to add another face to it, then you think about Jamal Blackman. Now, if you're thinking about somebody locally, then I've been impressed with what I've seen with Prince Daniel Smith from Clarendon College. This is just adding to the pool. I'm not saying give this guy a national team debut. So, that's what I think where that is concerned. So what we need to do, March 2020 FIFA ranking, get games. June 2020 setup, we need a couple of fixtures there as well, because World Cup qualifying kicks off August 31, 2020. We ended the calendar year around 4th in CONCACAF. We need to maintain that for another 6 months. Let's hang on. Let's hang on. And we'll be fighting for one of 3 spots to Qatar 2022. Yeah. One of 3 spots. We have to get there. So Reggae Boyz fans, tell me something now. Who is your Reggae Boy of 2019? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Shamar Nicholson, 7 goals this calendar year. Deva Orgil, 4 goals. Malik Foster got a couple of goals. So, who is your Reggae Boy of 2019? Adrian Mariappa, 299 successful passes in the CONCACAF Nations League. The most by any other player. Successful passes. And even in the game against Aruba where we were so lukewarm, he played a major role in actually creating the goal. For me, it's in this order. Shamar Nicholson is our Reggae Boy of 2019. Deva Orgil 2nd and Adrian Mariappa 3rd. That's my top 3. Reggae Boyz fans, what is your top 3? And who do you want part of our pool going into the World Cup qualifiers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Reggae Boyz Commentary.